Hey guys, Joseph here. Now, I've actually found this enlisted gun tier maker list, whatever tier list. Basically, it's Axis weapons, mostly in Normandy, but there are a few outside Normandy, like the Panzer IV-F isn't actually in Normandy, so I've never used it. There's also the MP38, which is also not in Normandy. I have used the MP38, so, and you can see it's a bit outdated as well, like really only up to the ZK. And yeah, I'm going to be talking about all of the weapons, where I'm going to rank them on here, so S, A, B, C, and D. Because all of these weapons are pretty good. Let's just face it, well, there's a few exceptions to that rule, obviously, but yeah. Let's start, and yeah. As you can see, there's a lot of things missing, so yeah. Anyways, let's start. The Kar 98K, I'm going to put the Kar 98K on A tier. Yeah, I'm going to put it in A tier. It's a very powerful bolt action. Completely free as well. With every soldier you get a Kar 98K, which is really good in my opinion. And yeah, I think it's just a pretty good rifle in my opinion. It's a solid one-shot, one-kill rifle. Very good. Really deserving of a spot in A tier. The only real downside is it's not a semi-auto, so it's not going to be like the Gavir 43 or the FG42. Oh god, that's going to be. So the way I'm going to do it is like S tier is going to be like amazing. A is really powerful. B is powerful, but there's other options. C is underpowered. D is basically worthless and then not used. Obviously, I've never used it. Which is where this plane's going to be. That's a plane, the BF-110. The BF-110. I don't use planes. I think I've gotten 1 8-kill with a plane, and that's it. Like, I've dropped 4 bombs, and I got an 8-kill on Panther. I blowed up Panther's entire death squad, so yeah. I inverted. Yeah, I hope you didn't mind that. The Panzer III-N, I'm going to put the N on C tier, because it's not bad, but man, there's so many better options. Like the Puma, in my opinion, is slightly better. It's probably my least favorite tank in the game. Now this might sound a bit like it's my least favorite to use in the game, but it's also my least favorite to come up against as well because it's so glitchy. Like I never know where to shoot with this thing because it's just red all over. Even in the fucking with the 76, it's just red all over, which is I don't really like about the Panzer III. I've never been able to fight Panzer IIIs effectively. I can beat Panzer IVs, I can beat Panthers, I can beat Pumas. I can't beat a fucking Panzer III. Anyways, FNAB, we all know where this is going. Really, really, really awful weapon. Just god awful weapon. It's in my opinion the second worst Axis weapon in the game. And it's the only Axis weapon I would actually. It's this one along with the worst Axis weapon. The only Axis weapons I would actually say are just awful, like really awful. Puma. Ooh. I'm gonna put the Puma on C. I'm gonna put it on C. Nothing wrong with the Puma. Same with the Panzer III-N. I prefer it to the Panzer III-N, but yeah, there's nothing really wrong with the Puma. It's just that the Panzer IV and the Panther are just so much better tanks than. Well, obviously the Puma's an armored car, but the Puma has some strength. You know, the speed. It has a decent gun for being a starter tank. Like the 50mm is really good for taking out. This thing can take out Jumbo, for God's sake. Like I've seen Jean take out a Jumbo with this thing. Yeah, if you've got a good Puma driver, then this thing is nasty powerful. Flammenwerfer 35. I'm gonna put the Flammenwerfer again at C tier. It's not the best. It's in my opinion, not the best, but it's powerful. It's a good weapon, but I don't think it's the best weapon in the game. Gewehr 43. Now I'm going to put the Gewehr at an A tier because it just doesn't have the... in my opinion, the S tier are borderline OP weapons, so... And the Gewehr, strong weapon, don't get me wrong, very strong weapon, but... Man, it's not like it gets outclassed really early. Like, it gets outclassed around the late game. Like, when you get the FG42, you stop using the Gewehr. Like, compare that to the Garand, which is its alternative, where you can actually still use the Garand even in the late levels. Like, even when you unlock the M1 carbine with the grenade launcher, even when you unlock the, what's it called, the M2 carbine, the Garand's still decent over those options, in my opinion. I just realised what's next. The Sturmpistole, S tier weapon. Don't at me. Okay, in all seriousness, the Sturmpistole I'm gonna put on B tier. Pretty powerful weapon, but just outclassed by the Faust. It's definitely the weakest anti-tank rocket-propelled weapon in the game. Like, it's weaker than the Piat, it's weaker than the bazooka, it's much weaker than the Panzerfaust. But if you know how to use it correctly, you can send anything on. You can put anything into the dirt. Like, I've put Panzer IVs, I've put Panthers, T-34s, Jumbos, M10s, lots of tanks into the ground with this thing. It is a very powerful thing. The only real downside is it's really unreliable, especially against tanks like the Stuart. Like, against the Stuart and against, I believe, the Sherman, it's really unreliable. Compare this to, say, the Panzerfaust, where you just aim it anywhere and the tank's dead. Yeah, so the problem is this thing, it's very unreliable, and the reload speed, oh my god, that reload speed is awful. Anyway, MP40 next. The MP40 I'm going to put on B tier. It's the MP40. You can't go wrong with the MP40. It's a solid SMG. Very, very good SMG in my opinion. Not the best, but not the worst. The Breda Model 30. I said this is the worst LMG in the game, and I'm pretty sure this is, in my opinion, the worst Axis weapon in the game. Like, with the FNAB, I can actually see why people use the FNAB. The Breda, though, oh dear god, like, that thing is awful. Until you get the MG34, which is like 8 levels later, it's an awful weapon. Like, the MG34 outclasses this weapon. Like, this isn't like, say, the BAR, where it's a side grade to the Bren, and you can pick it for flavor text if you want it, but you know, they both do different roles. The Breda does the exact same role as the MG34, but worse in every way. Worse ammo, worse reload, just like worse in close range, worse at long range, worse at everything, worse recoil. You name it, the Breda is worse at. The Panzer IV F, the F? I'm guessing it means this guy might mean the H, because it's got the J here. And it's all Normandy weapons, apart from the MP38. But if it's the... So I'm guessing with the F version, if it is the F version, not used. But if it's the H version, it would go on A. So I'm just going to put it... The H, I would say, is a very good tank. It's actually a really good tank, but... Again, like, the Panther, if this includes the Panther, seriously, like, this is the most up-to-date list. Does it say when it was uploaded? No, it doesn't say when it was uploaded. But you can see where this is, go. The Sniper Gewehr 43. I'm going to put that on A. It's basically a Gewehr 43, but with a scope on it. Not bad, but not good. Like, again... Oh, not bad. Not, you know, it's a great weapon, but it's not the amazing weapon. There's 2 Sniper Gewehr 43s for some reason. What the fuck? I'm just gonna do that now. Just do that. I just realised that. Oh, man. Panzer IV J. I'm going to put the J at B. The reason why is because the Panzer IV-J is actually a decent tank. Like, you know, say it's bad or you want, it's actually not too bad. Like, it's the only real problem it has is it doesn't have as good side armor, and it doesn't have, and the turret is slow, right? Get rid of those. I admit that the turret is awful, and the turret turn speed is awful, and the lack of side armor is quite awful. Despite this, though, it is a very strong tank. Like, I've taken out Shermans with this. I've taken, you know, I've dominated with the Panzer IV-J a lot of times. It's a really strong tank. The problem is, it's just not as good as the H. It's not as good as the Panther, so I'm going to have to put it in B tier. The Mars 36. Now, for the 36, I'm going to put that in C tier, because it's basically just the Kar 98K. I find it better at close range than the Kar, but it's just the same weapon, just, you know, it costs orders, and it costs silver orders. And if you know anything about me, if something costs silver orders when it's just the same as another weapon that's either cheaper, or, you know, or it's a free weapon, I hate those weapons unless there's like some discernible characteristic, like the grenades on it, for example. MP38, I've not used it, but if it's anything like the MP40, it would probably be in B tier. Kar 98K scoped. I'm gonna put this in A again. Like, the scoped Kar 98K is actually not too bad. Like, I generally like the scoped Kar 98K. It's a very good weapon. The obviously, of course, it's really fun. You know, just the bolt actions are just awesome weapons. Like, when you use them, and when you get a kill, sniping someone from long range and hitting someone from long range with the Kar 98K, or with any bolt action, Bolty Boy, is just so good. MP34. Ooh. I'm going to put the MP34 on C. Now, this only goes here on default because it's not a bad SMG. It's not a bad SMG. Like, but the problem is the Axis are just overstuffed with great SMGs that it's unfortunately just landed on C tier. So yeah, that's unfortunate. For the Mannlicher, I'm going to put that one at C again. Same reason for the Maz. Moving on. Oh boy. I've made watch my video on the FGs, and you will know exactly why these are on S. Just borderline OP. MG42. I'm going to put the MG42 on A. Now, I know what people say. The MG42 is crap. Why are you putting it on A? The reason I'm putting it on A is it is incredibly powerful. It is still incredibly powerful. Yes, it has a long fire rate, but in my opinion, it's actually got easier to manage recoil than the 34. Now, I'm going to put the 34 as well on A. They're both really just comparable upgrades. Like, they're both really powerful, both really good, and in my opinion, just worth the silver, grabbing, especially since the alternative is the Braider. Ugh. For the Beretta M1918, I'm going to put that on B. Now, the Beretta M1918, the reason I'm putting it on B is because it's a powerful weapon, but it's a situational weapon. Like with every other SMG, apart from the FNAB, they're all good at close range, right? But they can be used at mid range and long range to some degree. The FNAB, of course, does better at medium and long range over short range. MP35 and MP40 are decent at mid range. MP35 and the ZK are better at longer ranges. The Beretta is just literally you fire a massive volley straight into the enemy. It's very quick firing. I like it, but it's not. Even I admit it's one of the weaker SMGs for the Axis. For the ZK is probably going to go the exact same, in the exact same position. pretty strong SMG, but again, just there's better alternatives in my opinion. There's two not on the list, which I'm gonna fill out in a second. And for the MP35, obviously, I think that's an S tier weapon, so yeah, very good. For the weapons not on here, there is the first off. There's the Kar 98K with the grenades. I'm gonna put that at probably C tier, actually. Now for the Kar 98 with the grenade, I'm gonna put that on C. If if it's included, obviously I would have put it on C, but the reason being is it's just a Kar 98K, but it costs 2 silver orders. It's the same reason I don't like the A4 Springfield. It just costs more for free extra things. I know people probably are going to be saying, but you like the what's it called? You like the M1 M8. Why do you not like this then? The reason I like the M1 M8 is because it's the semi-auto, and you've actually it's a decent side grade to the Grand, to the and to the M2. Like you're sacrificing something, but you're gaining something new. If you know what I mean. If you get my drift. For the Panzer IV-H, I've already said would be an A. What else is there? There would have been the 20. There would have been the Flamethrower. That would probably be either B or C. It's the level 2 flamethrower, so can't go wrong with that. For the Beretta S tier, the Beretta Model 38, definitely an S tier weapon. Very strong. In fact, I'm just going to say the other 3 unlocked after that, which are the Panzerfaust, the Panther, and the MP43 are all S tier as well. The reason why I say they're all S tier is because the Beretta is just a brilliant gun. It's a brilliant SMG. Really good for close range. Great magazine. One of the best magazines. It can be used at close range, mid range, even in long range. Like I've sniped people with this thing. It's really powerful. The Panzerfaust, obviously, I was talking when I was talking about the Sturmpistole. I said why the Panzerfaust is so good. So refresh there. For the Panther, again, it's probably the most powerful tank in Normandy at the moment. So yeah, gonna have to put that in S. And for the MP43, I'm actually making a video on the MP43, and if you saw my unlocks video, you'll see why I like the MP43 so much. It's a really, really powerful weapon, one of the best in the game, and yeah, it's literally like you're playing Call of Duty now if you're using that. Anyways, I'm going to end this video here. I hope you guys have enjoyed my ranking on these. Unfortunately, it's not complete. So, and I would make my own, but unfortunately, you have to have You have to have you have to have a Twitter account, and I don't have a Twitter account because I don't like Twitter. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe if you have, and I'll see you guys in the next one.